Yeah, Swanee Mick here. Another day at McCarley Ridge, and we've had a bit of rain. So I'm just going to show you something I know is a logging arch, but in a smaller version here. And I'm just with my neighbour, next door neighbour, Big Al.
There you go.
And he's a giant. He's a 6 foot. He's genuine 6'6". He's a bloody big man.
Yeah.
6 foot 6.5.
4.5.
Oh, I've exaggerated. 6 foot 4.5 inches
right.
tall.
Yeah.
Young buck too, so I don't give him any lip.
This is an 8 metre log too.
This is about 14 cubic metres of timber here.
1.5 tonne.
Yeah, this is a one log load for a bogey drive trail and a single drive 400 horsepower truck. But now what we got here is a small log arch. Now, I remember log arches when I used to go in the bush with my dad, Arnold Flesser, Jim Cork, the boys, the Flesser boys, the Cork boys, and they had a communal log arch that all the contractors used to use, which is in front of Tesh Park at Maloney now, and most people don't even know what it is. Well, this is a small version that you can tow with your four-wheel drive, and he's got a Nissan here, so he's serious about getting the work done. Not like you use Toyota blokes. Oh, hang on, I better not say that.
It always needs work done.
It always needs work done. Good stuff. But anyhow, Big Al's going to just demonstrate how this works, because it works different to the one in front of Tesh's sawmill. So I'll just quickly say about the one on the back of the dozer. So you have it hooked up to the drawbar on the dozer, the one in front of Tesh's sawmill, in front of the library, the old one that Dad and that used to use at Maloney, Tesh Park. So it hooked up to the drawbar of the dozer. The winch, which on the dozer was mounted, say, here, and that's a mechanical winch with a winch rope on it. It's just like a big spool on a ball of cotton. Goes up over the top of the arch, and this arch is a lot higher than this one. Obviously, it's all in scale. And the winch rope used to go over the top on the pulley, and you would hook the chain around the log, the same setup as this, and then hook the winch rope up to the chain and just winch it up and lift the front of the log off the ground. But you had a big mechanical device. So this is a one-person operation with just how to use force with one hand. So away you go, Big Al.
Yeah.
And I probably can't do this because he's big. So
Yeah,
see this?
It works purely on mechanical advantage. So I reckon this could be like 100, 150 kilo. But when you hook it on this close to the pivot point and then come out on the end of the drawbar,
Pivot point being central.
you can see, the amount of leverage, even just with one hand, especially once it gets closer to that axis, it becomes...
Can you just lift it up and down again, Big Al? Yeah, just what I'm saying is this is just one hand Al's showing you this. Like, I mean, he's a powerful man, but I'd probably hang off there and hang me 2 feet to be off the ground.
Yeah, so this by hand, if you had the chain adjusted right, you could probably lift half a tonne.
500 kilos.
Half a tonne, maybe 2 blokes pulling down on this.
Yep.
But, theoretically even more if you chock the wheels and tie a winch or even just chain onto the back of the car.
Yep. So what Al's saying there
Pull that down.
is if you chock the back wheels here, because this is a slight lean down towards Al, and honestly, this makes life very easy when you just want to shift logs a bit, like you wouldn't believe. So,
yeah, it's ancient technology, really.
Yeah.
This is...
Pyramid?
Well, I don't know if they had the wheel back then, but certainly this kind of leverage.
Yeah. Do you want me to hold that?
Yeah, you can.
So what I'm going to do here, because that actually can work like a slingshot. So Al's going to just put a safety strap around it, so it doesn't slingshot if something happened, if a lot of jumper ants down here. So he's just got his
And it's like anything that that's not restrained, that's got spring tension in it.
Yeah.
You don't want to be leaning over it without.
Yeah.
But now that's on there.
So that just folds up. Now this here, if you look at this is a very, very simple device. So rightio, I'm just going to go back to Al. Now here he is.
And even here now, like,
see this?
The other thing you can do with these, if you've got a couple of people, it's easier. Push you on top of the wheel.
Yep.
that gives you a 2-to-1 advantage
Yep.
over just pushing on here. You get twice that force.
Yeah, so it's easy to wheel around, Al, even though it's not level. Do you want me to give you a hand? You're right.
Oh, I'll just demonstrate.
Yeah. Yep.
So, you know, even if you've got one person pulling on the front,
Yep.
2 people pushing on the wheels, you could probably get a log like this up a bit of a hill.
Yeah.
Or, you know, up to the machine or whatever. But this one's pretty well balanced.
I'm amazed.
It's just slightly heavy in the back.
Yeah.
So I've actually pulled this log that's behind us here out of the pile.
Yeah.
And I've just hooked onto the front.
Yeah.
And then I've actually just chained onto here and just towed it.
Yep.
Just sort of like a bogey.
Yep.
And then I brought it up here, which is close enough to where I want to get to. And then I've just docked off a few bits just to get it better balanced.
Yeah.
I could have brought it a bit further forward.
Yeah.
But I just like a bit of margin.
Exactly. And now, and you're not dictated to with. I mean, you can. Do you want a hand there, mate? Now that's all. Now Al's he's handled that well. That's no drama at all. And then also, if you wanted to, I don't know if you would, Al, and you could have a winch down there just to take that well, you don't need the mechanical advantage makes it that easy, but there's nothing to stop you from having a hand winch here.
Yeah.
And lifting that up.
Yeah, you'll see a lot of American guys on YouTube will make these, you know, particularly if they're moving like pines and fir and stuff around in North America, and that's pretty lightweight. They'll even have it on like a quad bike or a ATV or something like that.
Yeah. Yep.
And they'll have like a higher arch with even electric winch on there.
Yep.
So
Buck and Billy Ray use it.
Probably would do, yeah.
Yeah, Buck and Billy Ray.
He's got at least one of everything.
Yeah, he's a top man at the job. So if you ever want to watch something on YouTube about timbers in the US, Buck and Billy Ray's bloody unreal to watch, and he's also a good musician, and he's got a good outlook on life. He's got a very positive outlook on life, and he's had a few near-death experiences in the timber, which if you watch any of his stuff, you'll see. But I'm just looking at this, and I got my tractor, so I'll probably be one up on that. But this sort of thing is, you've got it made. Al was saying this is about 30 years old.
Yeah. Mate of mine who's a blacksmith, he handmade this.
Yep.
A lot of this was forged.
And that doesn't actually even have to be that shape, does it?
No, you can do square ones.
Yeah.
People make them out of box.
Yeah,
and
so
put bracing and stuff in.
But you know that.
But you know, this big thick bit of steel plate with the reinforcing on there.
Like, he's done an unreal job. 30 years of age. You're 30 years
Probably
old.
Older than that, yeah.
Probably older. You'd have Falcon wheels.
Tyres would be. I think they're off the tractor. They're 3-stud wheels.
3-stud wheels. Yeah, they'd fit off an old Fergie or something even older.
Yeah.
But you look at it, and the overall investment. Al's got a high quality chain there, a lifting chain. That's a lifting hook. But you just look at it, and if you want to get down to just a little bit of physical work, because clearly Al's going to be cutting this log up for firewood, as
this would have been great if you just had like a bullock or horse team or something like that.
You could tow it with a horse.
Yeah.
There's nothing to stop you if you don't even have cars. Like we live out in the bush out here. Like, we're half an hour away from the next reasonable sized town, which is Stanthorpe. And to be quite honest with you, you could do it by hand, follow this around if you're on working level ground, or you could, cheapest scenario, you could have a horse or whatever, and you want to train up a horse or a bullock.
Yeah. A lot of people use them like on building sites and that as well.
Never ever seen.
If they don't have like a forklift or something like that.
Yep.
You know, you could pick up steel beams or whatever.
Bricks
you
or
want.
anything. Yeah, pallets of bricks if you had a fork on it.
Anything that'll fit under that arch there.
Yep.
Particularly if you're just on a concrete slab or something like that. You know, it's
an amazing bit of kit.
Unbreakable.
Yeah, and very.
It doesn't need any software updates.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi.
Well, that's what we need to get back to. I hate to tell people with what's going on in the world, and so that's probably that's hardwood. So it's a lot heavier than any pines, or I don't know about your heavier woods in the US. But that's the 10 inches across there. From top to bottom, it's a little bit out of shape, but 10 inches from top to bottom. And what do we got here? 1, 2, 3, about 4 yards, or say 4.5 yards, 4 metres long. 150 kilos, Al reckons. I reckon that's probably making it out. It's probably heavier than that.
On the low side.
On the low side. But it's wind. And so Al, you've towed all this up, Al? Yeah, so Al does a bit of firewood, and there he's into it, and he's got his splitter over there, and what can you say? It's a good way to make a few dollars.
Yeah.
Isn't it, Al?
Well, a meal ticket at the very least.
Yeah, at least you'll get a hamburger out of it here in Australia if you... Rightio, Al, mate, thanks a lot for your bloody showing me that. He's just saved that one spare, and I'm appreciative, and I'm impressed, very impressed. Because like I said, I just knew of the old log arch, which was all mechanical, as in wire ropes and, you know, 10,000 kilos a dazer, old D6 or something, 10 or 11,000 kilos, makes life a lot easier. But there's his dozer there. He's got a bull bar on it, so you probably could push a few small trees over with, and it is a Nissan, so it's got heavy diffs, and yeah, it's a bloody good one, and galvanised, a lot of galvanised body panels, as you can see. Rightio, I'm going to leave it at that. So that's Mick from Macali, Sweno Mick, and Big Al. Thanks for it, Al.
Pleasure, mate.
And we're going to upload this shortly, and I hope you have a good looking view, and give it a thumbs up, because I reckon it's at least worth that. I don't get many thumbs up, and I'm sure that's worth a thumbs up. Rightio, Sweno Mick. You'll have a lovely day. Sweno Mick out.